I had not considered that. This sport is very different without Islam. It really is. Islam represents, and it's a massive umbrella. Not to mention, he is the heir apparent to King Khabib's throne. Like, it's a big deal.
Islam Makhachev isn't holding back. In a recent training clip, he showcased violent grappling techniques and warned Della Maddalena of a knockout loss. This bold statement has shaken fans, leaving everyone to question JDM's chances against the lightweight champion. Islam Makhachev's latest training footage is going viral, and it's easy to see why. His grappling drills look more like a masterclass than a workout as he tosses partners around with frightening ease. Fans and analysts are stunned, pointing out how relaxed and calm he remains even during intense scrambles. Meanwhile, discussing his preparation for Della Maddalena, Islam Makhachev recently opened up about his training and how Dagestan's culture shapes fighters from a young age. He explained that the focus there is on building strong fundamentals through sports like wrestling and judo rather than pushing kids straight into MMA. Islam believes this early foundation is the key to their success.
Is there a specific person who inspired you to get into MMA?
No, because Dagestan, everybody training, you know, everybody training. They go to school, you know, 8 years old. They start to do something, not like MMA. And it's not good idea to put your kids when they become 8, 9 years old to the MMA. We have a lot of Olympic sports, wrestling, judo.
Moving on, Craig Jones recently gave his take on Islam Makhachev's upcoming fight during the Ariel Helwani show. He explained that while Islam is a dominant force, Della Maddalena brings a unique and unpredictable style. Jones pointed out that JDM's scrambling ability and unorthodox grappling could create major problems for Islam, especially compared to fighters who follow a more structured game plan.
Moment for him and his team that it's kind of like keep it close there
Okay.
in the apartment afterwards. But
How do you think the fight against Islam goes?
I think it's a super difficult fight for Islam, this one. He's like, obviously he's faced Volk twice. We'll forget about the second one, but the first one, very competitive with the grappling. And now we're talking about he's facing a guy that's some of the best scrambling ability, I think, period, in all of MMA, and some of the most unorthodox grappling. And I think that's what Belal struggled with. Belal really just sticks to a blueprint. The blueprint obviously works very well, but in terms of creativity in what Belal does, I think it's pretty strict.
Jones continued by highlighting how JDM's creativity and unusual grip breaks make him difficult to prepare for. He believes Islam might face even more challenges than he did against Volkanovski, given the size difference and JDM's skill set. According to Jones, JDM's combination of explosive stand-up and slick grappling gives him the kind of unpredictable threat the UFC thrives on showcasing.
Strict. As you saw in that fight, some of his off balances and grip breaks and some of the things he does, it's really hard to prepare for that. So I think like Islam, the size difference is going to be quite a lot bigger than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground and how much Islam struggled with him in the grappling exchanges. And having seen Jack and Volks work together, seeing the skill sets, like this is a perfect one. The UFC want guys that stand and bang. I'm trying to still help them out, even though potentially enemies.
Do you feel confident about that?
After Craig Jones's detailed breakdown of Della Maddalena's grappling, the Kairou's brothers weighed in with their perspective. They acknowledged Craig's expertise, but reminded fans to consider his close connection with JDM. While they respect his opinion, they also questioned whether JDM's performance against Belal truly reflects his ability to handle a world-class grappler like Islam Makhachev.
Period in all of MMA.
Look, I love Craig Jones, but this is like asking Khabib how he thinks Islam's going to go. Like, you're asking the guy's trainer, of course he's going to give him a wrap. Of course, he's going to say he's going to do very well.
Craig Jones is the Dagestani solution. It was the kryptonite to Bilal's wrestling. If he's saying that JDM Scramble is the best in the UFC, I believe him.
Bilal has trained in Dagestan. He's not from Dagestan. Jack had a great performance against Bilal, but that was more of an outlier in terms of his ground game. Because if you go back to the Gilbert Burns fight, he did get dominated on the ground. He got taken down a few times. And whether Craig Jones has improved him enough to get to the Dagestani level, because he did look great against Bilal, but Bilal's not Islam. He could be the greatest lightweight of
Furthermore, Daniel Rodriguez also shared his thoughts on the potential clash between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. Known for his straightforward takes, Rodriguez didn't hold back when discussing where he believes Islam could struggle. He pointed to JDM's solid takedown defense and sharp striking, suggesting that these factors might cause problems for the lightweight champion if the fight stays standing.
I think Islam's gonna have some trouble, you know, whole different weight division. I think Della Maddalena, I don't even know how to say his fucking name, to be honest with you.
You nailed it. You're good.
Yeah, he showed great takedown defense against yeah, nah, he looked great. He looked great, and his striking's good. I think Islam's striking is not that good, you know, and with some good takedown defense, I think what's his name wins.
Adding on, Joe Rogan kicked off the conversation by praising Islam Makhachev's raw power and dominant grappling style. He explained how Islam's ability to control and finish opponents is unmatched once he gets on top. Rogan pointed to past fights, such as his clash with Drew Dober, as clear examples of how Islam's crushing squeeze leaves his opponents with no chance of escape.
He's got a giant back.
Yeah.
And when he gets a hold of guys, it's like he's just got this leverage, this grappling squeeze that it's. I remember when he fought Drew Dober, and like when he got Dober down to the ground, I was like, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. As soon as he gets on top, and then he starts clamping down and squeezing, and guys are just like, Oliveira was tapping like the moment it was on. He was like, fuck this.
Yeah, a lot of those really good grappler guys, they're strong, definitely, but they're really strong at closing up all of the space. Like if you let me get an underhook, like I can feel pretty strong. Like even if you're much bigger than me, I'll like make you take a couple steps back, which really shouldn't happen. But if Corey
Sandhagen joined in, breaking down the technical side of Islam's grappling. He noted how elite fighters like Islam excel by controlling space, never allowing their opponents to find openings. Sandhagen explained that this compact, suffocating style makes grapplers like Makhachev feel immovable, while still possessing the ability to effortlessly manipulate and move their opponents during exchanges.
Just close up all of the space, which I think is a big component of being a really good grappler, is being able to be like, nope, that's my space, you don't get that, this, you know, and you're not gonna get inside of mine. I can feel strong as fuck, you know? And yeah, those types of guys, they're just so used to being so compact and never letting anyone get inside their arms or wherever it is that they need to get, that it's like impossible to feel like you can move them. I feel like there's two types of being strong in grappling. There's being strong in like, I don't let you move me. And then there's strong in, I get to move you really good. And the good guys get to do both. Like if I can grab you and move you really easy, I'll feel
The conversation then shifted to Islam's well-rounded skill set. Rogan and Sandhagen agreed that Makhachev has evolved far beyond grappling, with striking now being a major threat. They pointed to his shocking high kick knockout of Volkanovski as proof that Islam is no longer just a ground specialist, but a complete MMA fighter capable of dominating in every area of the game.
I'll feel really strong. If you grab me and I feel like a rock, I'll feel really strong. And I think that some people do both of those really well, and then some people do one or the other really well. But those types of guys like the Islams, they do both really good.
Yeah. And he's also, his striking has leveled up significantly. Like his striking is much better than it was when he was younger. He's a threat everywhere. Like when he knocked out Volk with that high kick.
Yeah,
and
that was
granted, crazy. But granted, if I was in Volk's corner, I would say no.
Moving on, Jorge Masvidal recently broke down why Islam Makhachev's fight with Jack Della Maddalena won't be an easy walk. Speaking about Islam's weight cut and natural size, Masvidal admitted that while Islam is dominant, Jack is a special fighter with the tools to shock the world. He explained why this matchup could decide who truly deserves the pound-for-pound crown.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound for. Wow, that's impressive. You know, I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique.
Masvidal then turned his attention to the tactical side of the fight. He praised Jack's takedown defense against Bilal Muhammad, but emphasized that Islam's wrestling and fight IQ are at another level. While Jack's superior boxing and speed may give him an early edge, Masvidal believes Islam's relentless pressure and evolving striking could tilt the fight as the rounds progress.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique, not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops. A dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. You know, Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger.
Furthermore, Daniel Cormier recently gave his take on the highly anticipated clash between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. Breaking down the stylistic matchup, Cormier praised JDM's striking and ability to inflict damage early, but questioned how he would handle Islam's relentless wrestling.
JDM don't wrestle, but he was defending well, and he puts damage on you.
Off rip.
Starts putting damage on you, and he can box.
So how do you see that fight with him and Islam? Does he have the ability to beat a guy like Islam?
He'll get takedown attempts coming at him very early. This time. The last fight, he didn't have to deal with that when he was fresh. If Islam can start to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make him wrestle, he might struggle. I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's gonna feel, because it's not gonna be double legs and single legs with Islam. It's gonna be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around on the octagon side, doing things that he don't recognize as freely.
But she didn't answer the question.
The problem is, like, I can only give you that because I can't truly make a prediction. The job doesn't allow it.
Following Daniel Cormier's cautious breakdown of the fight, prominent manager Ali Abdelaziz also stepped in to set the record straight. Ali dismissed the noise around other potential matchups and confirmed that Jack Della Maddalena is the sole focus. He revealed behind-the-scenes discussions, hinting that Islam versus JDM is being planned for a massive US arena, promising one of the biggest fight nights of the year.
Like a lot of people saying all this stuff, he would have fought earlier.
Hunter went over to Dagestan.
2-3 weeks.
And
I sent him to Dagestan.
You sent him 2-3 weeks, 2-3 years, forget?
I said, Islam said, I will not fight Bilal. But, you know, Bilal ended up losing. Islam fighting Maddalena. I truly believe Islam is going to beat him. It's not going to be in Abu Dhabi. Makhachev is not going to be in Abu Dhabi.
I don't know where the fight's going to take place yet.
I can tell you. It will take a place in the US.
Really? Okay.
In a big arena. One of the biggest arenas.
Adding on, Chael Sonnen recently shared his thoughts on Islam Makhachev's mindset ahead of his clash with Jack Della Maddalena. Sonnen argued that money is far from Islam's primary motivation. He suggested that if Islam were to lose against JDM, it might even push him to reconsider his future in the lightweight division, given how much he values legacy over financial reward.
The money. And that is probably the last thing. Of all the things, that is probably the last thing that motivates Islam. So, with that in mind, it is within the realm that with a loss to Jack, that he stopped.
Continuing his analysis, Sonnen explained that true champions like Islam care more about holding the title than where or how it's achieved. Whether at lightweight, welterweight, or even interim status, fighters crave the recognition that comes with being the top name in the sport. Sonnen emphasized that Islam's hunger for greatness goes beyond divisions, driven by the desire to cement his legacy.
It would be very enticing, though, when you want to be world champion. It really doesn't matter in the athlete's mind where you find that. I know it does in the media, but it really doesn't within the athlete. He don't care if he does it at 55 or he does it at 70 or he does it at 75. If they want to call it interim or they want to call it undisputed, like the athlete just wants that title. Right, he wants that belt. He wants to be the top of the division. He wants the photos in the media and things to represent that when he gets spoken about. It's very interesting within the UFC.
Sonnen continued his breakdown of Islam Makhachev's mindset, focusing on how motivation shifts once a fighter has already reached the top. He explained that while Islam would be desperate to reclaim his position if he lost, the drive might not feel as intense as it did the first time. Sonnen questioned how losing and regaining the title could impact Islam's hunger for greatness.
It's got to be right now. There's something about it that's different. And I just share that on one hand, Islam would be greatly motivated to get that back and does not care if he had to go down a weight class or have a more difficult task. It wouldn't be looked at like that. He would be so desperate to get that back. But, and putting myself in his shoes, I don't know that fire would be quite as strong if it's to get something back that you've already had. As a matter of fact, you had it for so long, you returned it. I just couldn't imagine.
Furthermore, Belal Muhammad, who has first-hand experience with Islam Makhachev's skill set, gave his prediction for the upcoming fight with Della Maddalena. Belal spoke about Islam's relentless wrestling and strategic approach, emphasizing how effective his team is at crafting game plans.
First JDM goes down. Honestly, I think Islam will probably take him down. Like, Islam's wrestling really good. Like, even with me, whenever I really commit to it, I took it down. Their team's so good at hacking in a game plan and sticking to it.
You said that you kind of abandoned the game plan a little. You think if you got a rematch, you would change the game plan a bit?
No, I mean, honestly, I think I won three rounds, but you have to go out there and make it more clear. When you get into the cage and you're fighting, right, you get into that, all right, I feel like striking. Let's keep going. I was doing well with it. Let's keep going. If your coach is trying to get you to focus on the game plan again, it's like, nah, man, I'm doing well with it. You're thinking you're doing better than you are. Every fight, you gain something from it, right? This fight, I gained something.
Moving on, Islam Makhachev's longtime coach, Javier Mendez, recently shared his perspective on the UFC's matchmaking and the upcoming fight with Della Maddalena. Mendez explained that fighters can express their preferences, but ultimately, the UFC controls who faces whom. He revealed that while their team had different plans, the promotion's business priorities often dictate title decisions and fight schedules, shaping Islam's path forward.
I don't know. I mean, the UFC makes those decisions. The fighters do all the chirping. The UFC decides who they're going to match with who. You know, we've said many a times, we want this, we want that. The UFC decides what they want, and they give us the options, you know, and it's usually take it or leave it, you know, obviously, because if we had our choice, we would have never vacated the lightweight title. We would have kept it. You know, and we would have fought for the welterweight title, but the UFC being smart business, they say, hey, we're not going to have anybody hold up any of the belts, because when one champion holds two belts, it kind of, you know, jog glams them a little bit, you know, and now they have, you know, important fights they have to put month by month, you know, on big pay-per-view events, and if one champion holds two divisions, it kind of screws them up.
All right, guys, before I get back to...
Even Michael Bisping recently weighed in on the intriguing matchup between Islam Makhachev and Della Maddalena. Highlighting the challenge Islam faces moving up in weight, Bisping emphasized that Jack's experience as the 170-pound champion gives him a significant edge. He warned fans not to underestimate how tough this fight will be, explaining that it won't be an easy walk for Islam at welterweight.
Belal, I mean, he was the 170 champ. Islam's the 155 champ. They're very, very close in their abilities. This isn't like Islam's going to walk up to 170 and just walk through Della Maddalena.
With so many legends, analysts, and fighters weighing in, one thing is crystal clear. Islam Makhachev versus Della Maddalena is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable and electrifying fights of the year. From Islam's brutal Dagestani grappling to Jack's razor-sharp stand-up and unorthodox style, this showdown has all the makings of a classic. Every opinion, from Joe Rogan to Masvidal, paints this fight as a battle for supremacy across multiple dimensions of MMA. Who do you think walks away victorious? Islam Makhachev with his relentless wrestling, or Della Maddalena with his unpredictable striking? Drop your predictions in the comments below.